Welcome to Conversations with K and J. We're your hosts, Kayla and Janae.
And here we talk about love, life,
and lessons learned. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Daily Doses of Conversations with Kayla
and Janae.
In today's energy, we are looking into getting lost in the struggles of others. Humans are mirrors. When another is in pain, we begin to see the pain in us. There's beauty and compassion, but when we are listening to friends, we must be careful not to make another's struggles about us. We must be careful to not take on another's pain unless it is ours to take on. This doesn't help us or the other person. Compassion is the quivering of the heart in the light of suffering. We can feel another's pain, and it opens our heart to be present.
Yeah, I think that just says to not try to be like Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, You can sit there and be an ear and tell your experience, but try not to take that on and feel like you need to find the answers. Because sometimes your solution to things, they just may not be ready for.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
For themselves. They telling you, but they're not saying that they want to fix it. Right. And I think you then take on that burden of like pressuring somebody to do something that they are not quite ready to do.
Yeah, or reflecting on yourself that you weren't able to help them in the ways that you wanted to or were seeking to.
Yeah. And then it builds on your frustration. It brings back, you just wishing you could do for them. You wish you can fix it.
So is that the same perception of people trying to right their wrongs within other people? It's kind of like the narrative of a mother wanting to give her kids more than she had when she was growing up, without realizing that that may not even be what those kids are wanting or seeking in their life. And then when the kids are not appreciative of what they've been given, it reflects. It makes the mother upset. Like, well, back then we didn't have this and you got this. And I mean, that's just like a surface level example to see what this is saying, but that's pretty much one and the same of you putting off of your perspective or your trauma, whether that's in a healthy way or a negative way, onto another without realizing that everything that is within your mind or your understanding, again, is not for everyone else.
Right. And at the end, it just said, like, in that moment, just be present. And that's just telling you to see how far you've come in maybe those situations that is similar or a reflection of your story.
So presently we have the 7 of Cups again, but today we're using a different deck. And this 7 of Cups is, would you consider that like a lone wolf?
Yeah.
And there's the moon in the background. So again, the 7 of Cups talks about illusions, talks about confusion. And this is what we could be sitting in emotionally if we are not clear and honest with ourselves around the disappointments that we have experienced within our lives. Again, that's what goes into people wanting to fix situations for other people that they wish that they had been able to save themselves from. And that is not really going to be what helps you right those wrongs if you consider it a wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, even from this picture, he's like dark and his head is down. So it kind of makes me think of like taking on other people's energy can put you in a dark, lonely, state of mind.
Yeah, because you can get washed away in the depths of their emotions. You can take on other people's weight and set them free. And that's what I feel like when people just come to you venting and telling you all the heaviness within their life, you're kind of left with it while they're able to just go on about their day feeling more free and less burdened because they were able to get it off their chest.
Right.
But if you're an empath per se, then you are taking on someone else's energy. Mm-hmm. So if y'all hear that in the background, it's Ava.
Ava's energy is like on 10 right now. But yeah, it's like when you talking to your homegirl and she's talking about her boyfriend and, you know, venting all this negative stuff, but then she go right back to him, and then you're sitting there wondering like, well, girl, why you ain't leave him yet? That's when you take on somebody else's burdens and feelings about something that they not even ready to deal with themselves.
Right. So I think the thing that gets me here is I tend to treat people in the way that I would want to be treated in return. And I'm definitely a person who likes to learn from other people and their experiences. So, I mean, I definitely know that I take on the struggles of others or have in the past. But it's done with the intention of, I guess, again, wishing that someone would have done that or been there for me in that same kind of way.
Mm-hmm. But I think if you are coming to someone for advice, you are genuinely taking that advice in to help you. And some people don't. They take that advice just to put it on you to, like you said, unload.
Okay, so let's read the bottom card. It says clinging. We humans cling to what feels good. We cling to love, joy, excitement, and silliness because we don't want to let go of what feels good. But the danger of clinging is that it hurts too much when someone or something leaves us. Many humans are guilty of clinging to love. When we feel seen, heard, understood, and cherished by another being, we don't want it to end. But there is so much wisdom in the saying, if you love something, let it go. There is freedom in knowing that something has come to you because it was meant for you, rather than because you fought to keep it. Well, that sounds like what you were just saying. Like, some people just like to unload. Some people like the access they have to you to be able to vent or to have someone to talk to, but really not have the intention of wanting to change themselves or their circumstances, which again makes you like the dumping ground.
Right. They love the attention that they get from you by being able to dump on you. And the encouragement that you give, the motivation, the things that they're all lacking, they then just cling to that and want to keep telling you negative things to get that. I don't know, you're feeding their lack, but they're not ready to step up.
Okay, so we have the Two of Cups to clarify the Seven of Cups, which is dealing with a lot of emotions. So you could be dealing with people who come back into your environment or your energy who's just trying to pull on your emotions or pull on your heartstrings because they are not able to find a balance within their own emotional state right now. And the Two of Cups is making sure that what you put out, you're getting in return. Like, you cannot keep pouring into a cup that's not pouring back into you, or you're going to be left empty at some point. And so at the bottom of the Two of Cups, we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor has been coming out lately very strongly as narcissism in some form. Whether people are aware of what they're doing or it's just a function of how they've been their whole life because they grew up in it, because it's all they've seen. The Emperor is definitely someone who manipulates in order to remain in control, in power, and they're willing to play any sort of part or game in order to keep their foundation good. So that's why I use the word narcissism or narcissist, because they like to have their supply. And when they don't have their supply, when they don't have a person to make them feel good or boost their ego, they then start to like lose the balance that they falsely believe that they have anyways.
Yeah, because they got to deal with themselves.
Yes.
Right.
So when we are looking at the Seven of Cups, this is about not letting anything come in and throw you off from your path or the clarity that you need in order to keep growing or to achieve what you're setting out to do. Because again, this is temporary. People come in and out when they are in a place of needing that supply or that boost or that feel good. But when they have what they need or they're off doing their thing, that's what I'm saying, you're left with the heaviness that they put onto you, which ultimately hinders you from being able to have the energy or the effort to put into your own self and your own reality. So at some point you do have to cut that cord and release the heaviness. I feel like this is making me think of one time when, you were letting me know that I was waking up with an attitude or not in a good mood. And I really had to check myself of like, well, why? Because I'm not even, like, there's nothing even in my reality that I am mad about or sad about or frustrated, but it was the energies that I was taking on, that I was focusing on, that I was, very taking a care to.
Right.
Without realizing that wasn't my weight to be carrying in the first place. And again, I think as a collective, because we care so much, because we are so loving and feel strong enough to carry other people's weight for them at times, we don't realize how much that is draining us.
Right.
And
it's
pulling us
exhausting.
down.
Yeah, it's exhausting. And then I think you take on somebody else's and then you are just passing it off in your life. That's where it's like you have to be present, because like you take on somebody else's and then you have an attitude all day, and now that's been placed on, somebody else that has nothing to do with it.
In your reality, right.
And the energy just keeps flowing that way. So you have to learn how to kind of block that off, let that go, or be unbothered by, people's problems.
Right. So the devil came out to clarify the Two of Cups. So this is talking about trauma bonding with people, or being connected in relationships, whether romantic or platonic, with things that are not helping you to heal or evolve. This is staying in a toxic, low vibrational, unhealthy connection that is meant to keep you down dark. I feel like this is misery loves company.
Yeah, and some people love drama. Like, I think some people feed off the drama because it distracts them from dealing with themselves.
Right.
When they ain't got drama going on, they're in their head. So they need to go out and create some drama or get some type of, let me watch some drama, let me start some drama. Some people really feed off of that. And then, like you said, it's misery loves company. And then they want you to be miserable as well.
Yeah. Especially with the clinging coming out of people clinging to the things that they love. It may be a genuine love within it, but it's also needing to see that a person may love you so much that they don't want you to grow without them,
Right.
that they don't want you to move on and leave, because now we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, and those are going to be new beginnings in some kind of way, some newness forming or happening within your life. And this is people not wanting to let you go because they want to be a part of that, or they may not want you to have it at all because their reality is not reflecting anything new or anything more. So again, it doesn't always have to be just a nasty, low vibrational, like narcissism to it, but it's still understanding that like unhealthy is unhealthy, toxic is toxic, whether it is coming out of a place of love, because love could be obsessiveness. That's why the Seven of Cups is here. The Seven of Cups has something different in each cup, and it can be looked at in a high vibrational way or a low vibrational way. And that's what we've been speaking about on Patreon in the collective, is that someone could feel like, well, love to me is choosing you unconditionally no matter what. When love is unconditional, but it doesn't mean that it is supposed to be unhealthy, because love can be, again, obsessive. It could be you wanting me to choose you and love you when you are depleting me or taking from me or betraying me. And just because I choose myself in that moment, you're going to label me as not loving you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you possibly will have somebody with this Emperor energy come in to try to put their emotions on you, because right now they're in a 4 cups type of energy. They're disappointed. Their feelings are very low because they have been offering something that is not been received well, because it truly has come from a low vibrational place. Like, you can't offer a cup that's empty. Like, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but the places and spaces that you're moving to is going to require you to break away from this devil type of energy. Again, we're going into Capricorn energy, which is going to flow us into a new year, a new cycle that brings in new intentions and affirmations that attracts newness into our life. But there's going to be people who don't want to change, that don't want to do anything different. They may just say it, but they're not putting in the energy and the effort behind it. And so I think what I've learned, especially from you, is allowing people to show you who they are and what they're about. You know, especially if you feel unclear, because again, the 7 of Cups is here, that brings this confusion, but also understanding that confusion is illusion, which is also the devil energy. It's on purpose. You're meant to be stuck in this confusion for a reason, so you don't see the truth. But if you are in this place of feeling torn, then this is taking that opportunity to see that person fully, give them the space to show if they really have changed or are ready to speak the truth, or show that they are willing to work towards something more. But once you're shown the same thing over and over again, you have to make a judgment call for yourself so that you don't stay stuck in this confusion with them and not grow.
Right. I think the only way to help somebody through that is not through words but actions, and just be the reflection of the good that they can have.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I wrote in my book yesterday, when I said that I needed to allow others to do for themselves and me not do for them. My solution was to just be an example within myself, to live my life as a way of showing people of what can come from you choosing what is best for you.
Right.
So yeah, that's today's energy, y'all. I hope that this helped and resonated. We love you guys, and we will talk to you in our next one. Bye.